1 week from today, history will take place at Fitzpatrick Stadium in Portland. The Hearts of Pine will be playing their first ever international game. They'll be hosting a team from the Canadian Premier League in what's called a friendly.
Yeah, the team is called the Halifax Wanderers. Governor Mills was instrumental in making this happen after a trip to Atlantic, Canada back in June. The game was discussed during the governor's meeting with Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston. Governor Mills joins us this morning on ARC Live, not only to talk about next week's game, but also how we can improve relations with Canada and promote Maine more north of the border. Governor, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, first of all, let's talk about how this all happened. You went out and decided to go up to Canada and try to work this out. Take us through the play-by-play that you got with the Premier.
Well, I'd had a meeting with some businesses in southern Maine, and they were very, very concerned about cancellations from longtime customers from Canada, and including one business that had been in operation since 1667 and always had Canadian visitors come back and repeatedly. And those people weren't coming back this year. Not because of anything that outfit did, but because of offenses taken by the people of Canada at the belligerent language by our president, and concern about the tariffs, concerns about the border, a lot of things. So I wanted to go and disabuse some of those concerns if I could. Hands across the water kind of thing. And I went to New Brunswick and I went to Nova Scotia, and I had nice meetings with Premier Houston and Premier Holt in New Brunswick, and good meetings with a lot of businesses and researchers and museum folks. So at the meeting with Tim Houston in Nova Scotia, I said to him, look, the Millses come from Pugwash, Nova Scotia. So there isn't a community in Maine that doesn't have a significant number of families who have roots in Canada, relations in Canada. We have twin sister cities of Edmundston and Madawaska, Holton, Woodstock, Calais, St. Stephen. And it's not just that Maine is encompassed by Canada physically, geographically, 611-mile peaceful border, but that our cultural and economic ties are so deep. So I wanted to see if I could somehow renew those ties because of the hostilities and offense taken by many people in the Atlantic provinces at things happening in Washington and the president's hostile language. And so during my meeting with Premier Houston, I presented him with a jersey, Hearts of Pine jersey. I had run into Gabe Hoffman-Johnson, you're a good friend of mine, and at a game at the Hearts of Pine, and I said, I'm going to Canada soon. He's, well, take this jersey, give it to the Premier. I go, I'll try. And I had the opportunity, and so I did. And I said, we'd like to throw down the gauntlet here, Tim. We'd like to challenge your team in Halifax to a game in Portland, Maine. And that afternoon, he was on the phone with the manager of the Halifax Wanderers, and we've set up the game August 6th.
Amazing. How exciting is it to have this international game, not just scheduled for the Hearts of Pine, but to have it played in Maine? And are you hoping that, Canadian fans will come into Maine for it?
Absolutely. And that Gabe has reserved some seating for Canadian fans, and I'm sure it will be a friendly in all aspects of the word. You know that sports is an international language, and it's a language of, you remember the Miracle on Ice in 1980. You remember the game in with Lewiston and Deering after the tragedy of October 2023. Things like that brought us together. I remember Patrick Dempsey coming to Lewiston after the tragic shooting and doing a softball game, inviting people to play softball with him just to get out there and feel the spirit of community. And that's what sports does. We're so lucky in Maine to have a professional basketball team, professional hockey, professional soccer, professional baseball. I mean, pretty cool, puts us on the map. And I reminded the Canadian individuals I talked with that, look, I remember that in 1980, it was the Canadians who, the Canadian embassy in Iran, who saved our diplomats, saved their lives. It was Canadians in Newfoundland who took people in after 9/11, Come From Away movie and play, and kept people safe. It was Canadians who volunteered and began fighting in World War I before we did, and began fighting in World War II before we did. It was Canadians who fought with us in Afghanistan and Iraq. So I feel that our bonds are very strong and historic, and hopefully this game will start to renew those bonds in some small way.
Yeah, let's talk about business. I mean, Maine's economy is deeply intertwined with Canada. I mean,
Yes.
last year the state traded more than $6 billion in goods with Canada. How important is our relationship when it comes to the economy?
Oh, absolutely. I've met with the Irving family, Irving Oil, Irving Lumber, and a lot of other businesses in New Brunswick who trade with us, do forest products, energy resources, and those kinds of things. We're concerned about the tariffs, the impact of the tariffs on, obviously right now, aluminum and steel, tariffs that are impairing our ability to construct homes and businesses, facilities in Maine. Costs of construction have gone up 10%. Some of that is related to Canadian goods, others related to other goods coming into Maine. But more of we import more than we export to Canada. It's our largest trading partner, as you all know. And so it's important to maintain those relationships and not be hostile. We have no reason to be angry with Canada. And I'm very concerned that the tariffs and the talk about the border, and I did try to reassure them about border crossings that, you know, it's safe. I talked with the ambassador, Ambassador Hoekstra, who called me as a result of my trip to New Brunswick, and he reassured me he had not heard of any unlawful detentions, harassment at the border of Canadian citizens, lawful Canadian citizens. So hopefully that will remain peaceful and welcoming to Canadians. We need to welcome them. We like them. We're related to them in many respects. And our economy will suffer if they don't come. We want them to keep coming. That's why I put big signs up at all 13 border crossings between Maine and Canada saying Bienvenue Canadienne, Nos Amis, etc. Welcome Canadians, our friends. It's important to keep that messaging, and I put them up in stores all over the state of Maine. We've got free signs for any store who wants them in their storefront, any business.
Yeah, what's your message to business owners who feel like they're struggling? You know, for example, in Old Orchard Beach, you know, they rely on these visitors. What would you want them to know? Is there anything they can do to improve this relationship?
Just keep an outstretched arm to the Canadian visitors. Make sure they know they're welcome here. We're a friendly state, we're an open state. And we want them to come. We welcome their business, but we welcome their friendship more than anything. It's important to us. It's historic.
Yeah, and especially when you look at Old Orchard Beach, they actually have a Canadian flag there that flies. It's just like Canada South, right?
Yeah,
So many people come down, and they're hurting down there. We've done several stories. They're just not getting the visitors.
That's what I'm hearing too, and hopefully they're making up for it by marketing to people from other states domestically. But it's kind of hard. It's a hard gap to fill. So we'll see the results at the end of summer. We had a pretty good 4th of July, tourism-wise, traffic-wise, pretty good Memorial Day, better than expected. So let's hope for the best in the next few weeks.
Let's get back to soccer. So
Yes.
you've been to 2 Hearts of Pine games.
Yes, I have.
It sounds like you've got your jersey on this
I
morning.
had the play of the game, you know, a month ago. No, guy almost slid into me from the other team.
Tell us how much fun you've had at the games and why you feel like it is such a special opportunity to bring Canadians here for this energy on the field.
It's so spirited, as you know, having been there. It's exciting. The fans, the Maine fans are terrific, and the noise, the food trucks, the energy, the things for kids. If you bring your kids to a game early, there's places for them to play and bouncy things, and it's a real family-oriented field, and we want Canadians to feel welcome. It's not going to be a hostile game. It's a friendly game in every sense of the word, and the first international game for the Hearts of Pine. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was funny. We were all watching the game. It was raining, and you had your bucket hat on, and you turned around to the crowd and went, "Yeah!" I mean, it was just classic. I mean, you've really become a fan, huh?
Of course I'm a fan, of course. Look, and Angus King, Senator King is a fan, and Tom Caron is a fan, and Patrick Dempsey's a fan, just like he was a fan in Lewiston after the October 2023 disaster, a tragedy. But sports brings people together in every sense of the word, and I'm excited to have this professional team in Maine, and they got a pretty good record so far. They're in the playoff standings, and what, 4-3, 5-8, something like that.
8 ties or something?
8 ties. It's amazing. They don't have overtime in those regular games. So, and the plays are very exciting. I didn't play soccer as a kid. I'm not playing it now, but I love watching a good sports team play and good sportsmanship too.
Yeah, she knows her
Definitely.
soccer though, huh? Jeez,
Yeah,
I know.
definitely. And hey, maybe we'll make this an annual thing. Any thoughts?
We got a terrific goalie, a terrific standings. You know, the brick wall guy, Hunter Morse. We've got some great players, and from all over too. That's exciting to have them come to Maine, have them experience Maine in the summer too.
And well, let's say you going next Wednesday?
Pardon me?
You going to the game next Wednesday?
Of course,
Of course you are.
of course.
Oh, amazing.
Be
Governor
there, be
Mills.
square.
There you go.
Governor Mills, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your
you.
time.
All right, let's go Hearts of Pine.
Go
Let's
Hearts,
get the
up the
Canadians.
Hearts.
And let's get the Canadians because we love you. Come down and spend your money.
That's
Bienvenue,
right.
bienvenue, Canadiens.
Yeah.
All right.